Here we have a new 2023 Nissan Ariya Engage. So this is going to be your base model trim level. This one comes in black diamond pearl on light gray leatherette interior. And then we have a 214 horsepower front mounted electric motor, a 63 kilowatt liquid cooled lithium ion battery. And then this gets up to 216 miles of range per charge. And as we come around to the front end here, we get LED headlamps along with LED signature daytime running lights. And I said this before, on the higher trim levels, absolutely stunning look here. Just one of the sleekest looking EVs out right now. And down here we get 19-inch alloy wheels with the aero wheel covers. Great look as well. We get passive keyless entry on all four doors. And then to the driver door panel here, we have our memory seat controls here. Just hit set and hold that button. And then we have one-touch automatic up and down windows. All four doors, rear window lock here. And then we have our power mirror controls here, so you can pick a side and adjust. And then power folding mirrors. Blind spot monitors are in the rear view mirrors here. And then our power door lock controls are here. And a big size bottle holder there. And then over here, we can toggle our steering assist, info on the heads up display. And then we also have automatic brake hold here. And then we can turn the departure times off for our charging. And then here we have our driver's seat, which is going to be power with power lumbar support. But I have that seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3", longer legs. So let's check out the leg room and headroom back here. So in the back seat here, pretty roomy. I have about 2 inches of headroom at least. And then my knees have about an inch or two between them and the back of the seat, but not touching at all. So impressed by that. And we do have seat back pockets on both sides. And we even have 3-stage heated outboard seats in this Engage, so that's nice. Then a USB-C, USB-A charge port, and then our AC vents for the rear right here. So we're gonna fold down the center seat. Cup holders are here. And actually really digging this interior, even though it's the leatherette. And then I think we have a suede insert or something like that, microfiber maybe. And then grab handle here, probably hang 2 hangers on that hook. And then soft touch lighting there, which I really like. You just swipe over it. But making our way to the back, we have that LED light strip there as well, which is a great look. And this one does not have a power lift gate, I forgot. So it's one of the options you're missing on this lower trim, but some people like having that, some people don't care. I do like that we have tons of storage here on the side pockets though. And this one actually is covered all the way around, and this one just has a hole on the side there. And just taking a quick look underneath the vehicle. But coming around to the back right side, let's see how this seat folds down. Just pull up here, folds flat pretty easily, run longer objects all the way to the front if you need to, and then pretty easy to lock it back into place. I'm so sorry for the wind noise. It always picks up whenever I start filming it. It wasn't bad on my 40-minute drive out here. And then here, I believe this is a 6-way manual seat. And then we have a glove compartment here, pretty decent size, but then you also get another one in the middle too. So I like how they did that, because most people won't know to look there, and you can hide stuff there if you want to. But a huge shout out to John Roberts Nissan for allowing me to review this vehicle here in Manchester, Tennessee. Taking a quick look at the window sticker here. Tons of standard features. The only option on this one is the carpeted floor mats and first aid kit. Stickers at only $44,785. Well, let's check out this charge port here. So you do get 130 kilowatt hour max charging speed. There's your DC fast charge port. Or you can just hook up a 240 and you can charge in 10 hours. And then if you want to take several days, you can always hook up a 110. And there's the parts content there. 70% Japan, 30% China. But like I said, the styling is fantastic. Love the wheels. Let's go ahead and take a look in the quote-unquote engine bay, I guess the electric motor bay. So there's the electric motor whirring there, if you can hear it over this wind. But it's nice to see that. It's pretty cool because most rear-mounted vehicles, you can't see the motor in there. But we're finally going to get out of this wind here. So sound acoustics in here are great. I can already tell from the difference from being outside and then get in here. But the leather wrap steering wheel feels nice, and this design is awesome. And you can also heat this as well, and I'll show you where that button is momentarily. But over here, we have our infotainment system. So this is the home page. And as you can see, we do have a navigation system. We have notifications up here. There's the home page there. We can go to the nav there. We can hit this button here. And then pretty easy to type in a destination. I will say something that's pretty funny is this, it kind of, it's just funny because it'll pull up the gas station before it'll pull up the charging network. So you have to actually go over here to other and then go to charging station. And then it'll pull up all of your charging stations. But even from the navigation here, I just think it's hilarious that it's like, oh, you want to find a gas station? Well, no, not really. But I mean, if you want to go stop for a snack or something, it's a lot easier to find a gas station than a charging station. But restaurants, coffee, all that, you can just go in there. And it's a pretty easy system to use. And then pretty easy to adjust as well. It shows you traffic patterns, so I like that. Now for music, we do get AM, FM, XM, and then we also have Bluetooth audio, wireless Apple CarPlay, wired Android Auto. But a lot of those systems, the Android Auto will work wirelessly too, but on the sticker here in particular, it says wireless CarPlay, not wireless Android Auto. So I can't test that because I have an iPhone myself, but here we have our dual zone automatic climate controls, and we can adjust that either using the scroll bar here, or we can tap. And then we also have controls down here as well. I'm going to turn that down a little bit, and then we can cut the whole system on and off, touch of a button. And I like that that's right there in the middle. And then we can set our auto mode as well, and then we just have to toggle the fan speed, which you do here or down here, to turn that off. But I like how easy it is to control what direction the airflow is going. And then the 3-stage heated seats, set those to auto, or you can adjust there and then turn it off at the push of a button as well. So like I said, it's an interesting setup, but once you get used to it, it's pretty simple, even though it's all on the screen. And then our heated steering wheel, we can also do, I like that we have an auto mode for that, so you can either heat it or set it to auto. So it just keeps you at that perfect temperature. Now, our presets are down in here, and I like that you have 35, 36 you can choose from, because I do have a lot of those that station like to use, some FM, some AM, some XM. We can go to our camera settings here, and then our brightness for the screen here. And then once that's open, we can actually fool with it. Hazards here, volume here. That serves as a mute, and then we can use this to toggle between, it's really a seek button, honestly, in the radio. Now the shifters here, I want to go to this first before I show the backup camera, because this is drive, and then you can hit it again for your regenerative braking, and it'll put you in that B mode. You can see the left side of the gauge cluster there. And then you can hold up for neutral, hit the button, push all the way up for reverse, and there's that backup camera there. Guidelines file you to turn the steering wheel, I like that. And then press this P for park. And then here we have our drive mode, so you can pick between either Eco, Standard, or Sport. And then you can toggle your one-step drive mode here. So it'll say, again, that left side of the gauge cluster, E-step is off or E-step is on. And that's how you can get that max regen braking. And then we have a center console cubby space, which is pretty small, so you can put smaller things here and a wireless charging pad here. But where this makes up for that is being able to slide this back and forth, but also having that second glove compartment I showed you earlier. And my favorite thing is having this open space here, so I can put, I know I see a lot of vehicles like the Ioniq 5, you can put a bigger handbag or something in the middle here, but this just gives you so much space. You just have to make sure it doesn't go all the way over there to the pedals, but I can put my giant backpack here no problem and just set it in the floor. And then we have a 12-volt down here, USB-C, and a USB-A input, another small storage space here as well. And then going back to the steering wheel, volume controls, and then we can use the scroll bar to go through our gauge cluster along with these arrows here. And you can see up there as I'm tapping them, it's moving. And then over here, we have our track list and radio station presets we can toggle here. And then this button here is what we use to go to our shortcut menu, and we can configure that as well. And then right side of the steering wheel, Nissan safety shield toggle here. And then cruise controls, voice recognition, Bluetooth control, and then this is for the gap adjust for your intelligent cruise there. Blinkers, headlamps, you can set that to auto, and then your auto high beams are here on the side. You can toggle those there. And then regular high beams, and then you can flash there. I like that you can turn these on and off, because most, even today's headlight systems, you have to pull up and flash to get them off, but you can just turn them off there. Makes a lot of sense. And then the windshield wiper controls are here. So one time, then you have intermittent, low, high, and then you can set that there. And I believe these are also auto wipes, so you can control how sensitive the windshield is to the precipitation. There's a rear wiper there, and then pull back for rear wiper fluid, push up for front wiper fluid. And I just love that gauge cluster. Let's see if I can get this. There it is. There's the heads-up display. And it's nice to get this in the lower Engage trim level. There's a view of the back seat from up here. Sunglasses holder. Again, soft touch. I just love how they did that. Great job, Nissan. There's our push button start. Here's our electronic parking brake. Pull up to engage, hit the brake, press down to disengage. And finally, here's our key fob. But next, let's go ahead and take this Ariya Engage out on the road for a quick test drive. So I want to kind of take the time to explain this vehicle on the test drive. My thoughts on it, as I am a Mustang Mach-E owner with the California Route 1, so that one's meant mostly for range, has the bigger battery, and it's not the fastest. I think that does 0 to 60 in like 6.1. This one probably does closer to 7 seconds, I think. Specifically this Engage that has the smallest battery available. But I think this is a fantastic option because you can get a Leaf, but you can also get an SUV, pay probably 10 grand more for about the same range. And then you have something, I think this looks incredible. And the Leaf does not look terrible, but this Ariya, like I said earlier, is one of the better looking EVs out on the market, even compared to my Mach-E. Now, I'm kind of biased in terms of the looks, that's why I have one, but this Ariya, as I've said several times in other reviews of different trim levels, is a fantastic looking vehicle. It's just one of the more beautiful EVs out there. And even though the Mustang Mach-E it looks cool, it looks awesome, this Ariya just, like I said, it's a beautiful work of art in my opinion from the looks. And for a lot of people who want an EV, or maybe like the QX50 or the Rogue, even the Murano, and you want to go electric and you're worried about range, for most of you all, this 216 miles per charge is going to be more than enough, because this is pretty efficient for what it is. And most people who get these are not going to be driving them like I drive my Mustang, flooring it out of corners and whatever. And in terms of ride quality, even though it's bouncy, most EVs are, even the Mercedes EQS, you can feel that how it rides on this platform. The ride is probably about a 9 out of 10, maybe a little lower in terms of comfort. I mean, in comfort, I guess a 9 out of 10, but the ride is definitely on the bouncier side. But once you drive an EV, you know that's what you're signing up for. But overall, the sound in here is phenomenal. It really does remind me of, like I'm always saying about the Armadas and the QX80s, how they just ride like tanks. Even the Nissan Titan, just acoustically, the interiors are great. And same thing with this Ariya here. Borderline dead silence in the cabin. And even though it's extremely windy outside, as you all heard earlier while I was filming, not hearing that in the cabin pretty much at all. And this is pretty easy to drive. And I have it in, what mode am I in now? I think I was in standard. And just an awesome ride quality. I might have been in sport. So I want to put it back in the eco for a minute, because what's great about having instant torque, even if it's limited, is your eco mode is going to feel more linear than in a gas powered vehicle. And I know this because I had a 2019 Infiniti QX50. I hated how that car drove, just because with the eco mode, it just kind of decided for you when it would accelerate. When you put your foot into it, it didn't want to do anything for the most part. And even though this limits you, it makes sense. So as I put my foot down, I'm getting more power. I'm not getting kind of stifled, if that makes sense. But I do want to put it into the sport mode now and test this out on the interstate. So bear with me here. And I'm going to put my foot to the floor right now. So even with the single motor, smaller battery, it's no speed demon, but plenty of power to merge. Let's put the steering assist on. And then I'm also gonna slow down a little bit. We're gonna do right at 75. And again, even coming down the interstate here, wind is stifled quite a bit by the acoustics of the windows, just the overall body of the vehicle. And again, even though it does have a bouncier ride because it is an EV, still ride quality is awesome for what it is. And I meant to say comfort. The comfort is great with this, to have just leatherette seats. And I think you have this microfiber insert here. And for longer trips, it's nice to have this Pro Pilot Assist system doing most of the heavy lifting. You do have to keep your hands on the steering wheel though. And people got on to me because I couldn't get I did a Premier and then an Empower that had the lane changing assist. I think the button was right there or something. The system for me is a little, I'd rather just make my own turns or change lanes myself. But it's a cool feature to have once you get used to it. Just didn't make a lot of sense to me coming from driving a Tesla. And then also my Mach-E that I have now does not have the automatic lane changing or even Super Cruise. It just, like I said, the lane change system for me was didn't make a lot of sense, but it's there if you want it on the higher trim levels. But you saw the efficiency of this Ariya earlier, and according to the EPA, this is more efficient than the most efficient Mustang Mach-E. And I feel like you get a lot more room in here compared to that. The ride is a lot better. So these are not selling as well as some of its counterparts, but it does check pretty much every box. Specifically for this $44,000 or almost $45,000 sticker price. So to me, a fantastic option. And this will bring me to the end of my review of this new 2023 Nissan Ariya in the Engage trim level.